Heaven has paused time just for you. This very moment, right here, right now, is no accident. The ordinary flow of life has been interrupted by something extraordinary, something deliberate, because the divine has chosen this exact hour to reach your heart. It is as if the world around you has softened, the noise of everyday life fading, making space for a sacred encounter that has been waiting for this very alignment. You are not here by chance. You are here because your soul is ready, because heaven has orchestrated a moment that is profound, intimate, and transformative. And stepping into this space, breaking through the veils of time and distance, is a presence of immense authority and power. The Archangel Michael, the warrior of light, the sentinel, who carries messages from the throne of the Most High. Archangel Michael does not appear casually. He does not arrive without purpose. His presence is a signal that something monumental is unfolding in your spiritual journey. With every step, every gesture, every movement, he exudes the weight of divine intention. He has been sent to deliver a message that your heart has been unknowingly yearning for, a message that could not have been received at any other time. The scroll of heaven is in his hand, alive with light, vibrating with the energy of truth, clarity, and love. And beside him stands the one whose absence has echoed through your life, the one whose physical presence you have longed for, whose voice you have replayed in your memory countless times, your Father. Though he has returned to the unseen, his spirit has pleaded, through heaven, for this opportunity to speak directly to you. Today, that plea is answered. This message is not a fleeting thought or a passing dream. It is a divine appointment, a sacred interruption designed specifically for you. Your Father carries words he could never voice in life, emotions he tucked away behind love, fear, or timing. He brings clarity, healing, and revelation straight from the realms beyond, revealing truths that were always meant to reach you when your soul was ready. The grief, the questions, the lingering what-ifs of the past, all of these are acknowledged in this divine space. Heaven does not ask you to forget the silence or the pain. It asks you to open your heart to the love, guidance, and wisdom that has been waiting for this precise moment to touch your spirit. And now, before we move deeper into this sacred exchange, there is an invitation for you. A simple act of faith. A moment of spiritual consent. Type Amen in the comments if you are ready to receive this message fully. Let it be a declaration that your heart is open, that your spirit is prepared to welcome the presence of heaven, and that you are ready to engage with the truths and blessings that are about to unfold. This is your moment. The veil has lifted, the silence is breaking, and the long-awaited word from your Father, through the power and authority of heaven, is about to reach you. Even though his earthly presence is no longer visible, your Father has never left you. Beyond the veil of time and space, his spirit remains alive, fiercely attentive, and deeply involved in your life. He has witnessed every private moment of your struggle, every silent tear, every whispered question in the dark when no one else could hear. In the quiet corners of your life, when your heart ached with longing, and your mind replayed the what-ifs and if-onlys, he was there, not as a distant memory, but as a presence that stands guard, tenderly and persistently, over your heart. Heaven has not abandoned you. Your Father continues to walk beside you, interceding, shielding, and loving you in ways that transcend human understanding. He sees the way you have carried burdens silently, how you have held others together even when your own heart was breaking. And in this moment, he asks you to release the guilt that has weighed so heavily on your soul, the shame that whispers lies in the quiet hours, and the self-blame that you have carried far longer than you should. None of it belongs to you. Psalm 34:18 reminds us that the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Heaven is not holding your failures against you. Heaven is holding your heart, protecting it, and affirming your worth. Your Father's love for you was never diminished by human limitations or mistakes. It multiplied. Every act of care, every quiet prayer, Every longing glance from the other side has been a testament to his undying devotion. And now, in this sacred alignment of heaven and earth, he wants you to know that the love he carries for you has transformed into a protective, guiding presence. Though you may not always perceive it with your natural senses, his spirit is actively working on your behalf, steering you away from harm and opening doors that you have yet to see. Within the next 24 hours, he promises a tangible sign of his nearness, a whisper, a scent, a sound, or a sight that will speak directly to your spirit. It is not coincidence, but a deliberate message from heaven, confirming that he is with you, that his love continues, and that your life is being watched over with careful attention. This moment is a divine assurance, a sacred pause in which you are invited to lean fully into the reality that you are never alone. The ache of absence, the unanswered questions, the quiet grief, they are acknowledged and held with tenderness. And through it all, the unbroken truth remains. Your Father never left you. He is here, now, in spirit and in purpose, extending love, protection, and a promise that transcends time. Let your heart receive it, fully, as the first step toward a deeper healing and a new awareness of the divine presence surrounding you. While your Father's love brings comfort, he now shifts your awareness to a vital truth. There are unseen dangers in your path that you may not yet recognize. Even in your ordinary days, life has woven subtle snares, disguised as familiar patterns, relationships, or routines. But he has not left you defenseless. From the realm beyond sight, he has positioned himself as a guardian, standing between you and harm. This is not chance, but divine orchestration, a deliberate alignment from heaven that shields your spirit and prepares your path. The protective presence of your Father now calls you to pause, to slow down, and to enter a space of stillness where the whispers of your soul and the guidance of heaven can be heard clearly. In this quiet, sacred pause, your Father reaches out not with a human hand, but with the invisible touch of spirit. Feel it as a warmth upon your shoulder, a subtle pressure, a transfer of strength that flows from a place beyond the natural world. In that moment, the burdens you've carried, the grief, the shame, the self-reproach, begin to shift. They are acknowledged, but no longer permitted to anchor your soul. As your Father intercedes on your behalf, God, the ultimate responder, sends peace, not the fleeting comfort of the world, but the deep, soul-settling assurance that restores and fortifies. The grief that once felt heavy is reframed, no longer a prison, but a doorway. Each ache and sorrow becomes a marker, a spiritual teacher that guides you toward discernment and resilience. Through this divine protection, your loss itself is transformed into guardianship. The very experiences that once seemed to weaken you now serve as instruments of preparation, shaping you into someone who is aware, discerning, and spiritually attuned. Your Father's eyes have watched every private tear, every quiet prayer, and every moment you felt unseen or misunderstood. And now he invites you to release the weight that was never yours to carry. The self-blame, the if-onlys, the grief that lingers longer than it should. All of it can be surrendered into the hands of heaven. This is not a message of fear, but of empowerment. By slowing down, by entering stillness, you align with the subtle currents of guidance that have always been flowing around you. Grief, once heavy and confining, becomes a tool of clarity. Loss is no longer a shadow to hide beneath, but a bridge to wisdom, strength, and renewed purpose. Your Father stands beside you in spirit, not only to comfort but to equip you. He is showing you that the path forward requires awareness, discernment, and trust that in stillness, you are strongest. And in surrender, you are fully prepared to receive the protection and guidance that heaven has so carefully arranged. As the comfort of your Father's presence settles around you, he now speaks to the parts of your heart that have carried unspoken pain for far too long. He begins with an apology not as a confession of failure to you, but as a recognition of what life's limitations and silence may have caused. He acknowledges the moments he could not speak, the guidance he could not give, the comfort he could not provide. I am sorry, he whispers through eternity, for the times I was absent, for the words I never said, for the silence that may have left you questioning your worth. These are not words of guilt imposed upon you, but keys of release, lifting burdens that were never meant to belong to your shoulders. And then, as if a floodgate opens, comes the affirmation you have longed to hear. You were enough. You are enough. I am proud of you. Every unspoken question, every moment of self-doubt, every silent tear is met with the unwavering certainty of love. The father you grieved for, the one whose absence felt like emptiness, now declares your value, your strength, and your beauty. You are not defined by what was missing in the past, but by the spirit that has persevered, the heart that has endured, and the courage that has quietly risen every day despite what life handed you. Through this act of reconciliation, the pattern of divine redemption emerges. What once seemed like loss, rejection, or delay is reframed in the light of eternity. As it is written in Genesis 50:20, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Your Father now shows you that every hardship, every broken moment, was not punishment, but preparation. Each challenge has shaped you into someone uniquely qualified to carry forward a legacy of healing and purpose. You are the turning point of your family line, the one in whom generational blessings converge, and the one through whom divine restoration flows. In his hand, he presents a spiritual key, glowing with purpose, prayers, and heavenly intention. It is more than symbolism, it is a transfer of readiness, a declaration that the time has come to move from brokenness into preparedness. You are no longer the child left wondering, the soul weighed down by absence or regret. You are now ready to receive, to act, and to step fully into the calling that has been waiting for you. The narrative shifts, from apology to empowerment, from grief to identity restoration, from loss to readiness. This moment is sacred, marking the passage where your Father's words, your resilience, and God's plan intersect. You are not merely surviving, you are stepping into the life you were always designed to lead, guided by love, affirmed in value, and equipped with the spiritual authority to unlock the purpose that heaven placed within you long before your first breath. As the truths of your Father's love and affirmation settle within your spirit, the next step is no longer just hearing or receiving, it is living them. Heaven now calls you into practical activation, a sacred invitation to translate these revelations into daily practice. Begin with stillness, even if only 5 minutes each day. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. In these quiet moments, you are not escaping life. You are opening a channel where your soul can recognize the whispers of guidance that have always been present. This stillness is where heaven speaks, where the language of intuition becomes clear, and where your Father's presence can be tangibly felt, guiding you forward. With that space created, speak aloud the release of what you were never meant to carry. Say it clearly and with intent. Today, I let go of guilt, shame, and self-blame. I release what was never mine to hold. These declarations are not mere words, they are spiritual acts that shift the atmosphere around you. Each repetition chips away at the invisible weights that have bound your spirit, creating room for peace, clarity, and divine favor. Heaven responds when you align action with intent. As you cultivate this sacred rhythm, begin to discern the quiet nudges, the subtle intuitions, and the gentle redirections that arise in your life. These are the indicators of spiritual guidance, the signals of protection and opportunity your Father and God are orchestrating on your behalf. Learning to notice them requires both attention and trust, for the voice of divine guidance is often soft, hidden beneath the noise of routine and expectation. Protection also requires boundaries. What drains you, distorts your clarity, or diminishes your light must be gently but firmly addressed. Whether it is a person, a habit, or a pattern, recognize it, name it, and step away. This is not avoidance, it is stewardship of your peace. By doing so, You honor the sacred space your Father and heaven have created for you to thrive. Within this daily practice, the gifts and passions that were buried under survival or obligation can begin to reawaken. Even small acts, a single page written, 10 intentional minutes spent on a forgotten dream ignite the flame of purpose within you. Pair this with deliberate gratitude, naming 3 moments each day where God's presence is clear, and watch how perspective shifts. Gratitude rewires the mind, strengthens faith, and aligns your heart with the flow of provision. Finally, remember that spiritual activation is a collaboration with heaven. Faith is expressed through preparation, obedience, and trust. Every step you take in stillness, every boundary set, every small act of faith is a movement in alignment with the divine orchestration over your life. What begins here in practice becomes the foundation for miracles, the stage where your purpose unfolds, and the environment where heaven can move freely to fulfill what has long been promised. Now that your soul has been invited into stillness, release, and practical activation, heaven calls you to step boldly into expansion. You are no longer meant to live confined within the shadow of past loss or the boundaries of unhealed grief. The season of survival has concluded. The time for growth, increase, and alignment is here. Your Father, standing beside the throne of heaven, urges you to stop shrinking, to release the habit of minimizing your light so others feel comfortable. It is time to enlarge the space of your life, to prepare your heart and mind for the blessings and opportunities that have long been waiting for your readiness. Isaiah 54:2 speaks directly to this moment. Enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch your tent curtains wide. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords. Strengthen your stakes. This is not metaphor alone, it is spiritual instruction. You are being called to increase capacity in every area of your life. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and practically. Expansion requires courage, faith, and intentional preparation. It demands that you rise above fear and take ownership of the life heaven is orchestrating for you. Heaven is already moving on your behalf, and a specific sign is already in motion. This sign may appear as a subtle whisper, an unexpected encounter, a symbol from your past, or a sudden insight that pierces your heart with certainty. Do not question its timing or doubt its source. It is confirmation that the divine strategy for your life is unfolding exactly as intended. Nothing has been delayed or missed. What you have endured was not punishment, but preparation. Every trial, every heartache, every moment of doubt has been qualifying you for the authority you now carry. Job 23:10 reminds you, "When he has tested me, I shall come forth as gold." You have been refined, not rejected. In this moment, your Father presents you with a golden key, a sacred emblem of authority, access, and spiritual stewardship. This key symbolizes the doors that were once closed, the opportunities that were delayed, and the blessings that now align with your readiness. It is both a gift and a responsibility. As you step forward, you are entrusted to walk in wisdom, discernment, and courage, knowing that heaven has prepared the path ahead and that every step you take is under divine protection. This is a season of alignment. Every moment of stillness, every act of faith, and every decision to honor your peace positions you to receive what has been promised. Expansion is not accidental. It is the natural outcome of obedience, preparation, and trust. Your Father, Archangel Michael, and the Most High are orchestrating a convergence of purpose, guidance, and provision. You are being aligned with your destiny, called to embrace the fullness of what has always belonged to you. Having walked through comfort, activation, and alignment, heaven now moves you into a new and sacred territory, commissioning. This is the moment where the season of being comforted ends, and the season of leading begins. Your Father, who once walked beside you as protector and guide, now transitions into a compass, one that points you toward purpose, destiny, and legacy rather than providing temporary crutches. The grief you once carried, the tears shed in private, and the weight of unspoken words are no longer burdens. They are the foundation of wisdom, discernment, and resilience. Every pang of sorrow has been a teacher. Every unanswered question a refining tool, preparing you for spiritual authority over your own life. You are being invited to shift your identity from one who merely endured to one who leads. This is not leadership defined by status, recognition, or applause, but by quiet, intentional influence. The kind that breaks generational cycles without fanfare, heals unseen wounds, and establishes a standard of faithfulness that will echo for years to come. The patterns that once confined your family line, that held back gifts, and that whispered limitations, are now being dismantled through your obedience, courage, and alignment. Heaven is transferring not just wisdom, but legacy, a mantle of purpose and authority that has been waiting for your readiness. As you receive this commissioning, your Father's presence solidifies your new posture. You are no longer the one who stumbles under the weight of survival. You are now the one who builds. Every decision, every prayer, and every action becomes an act of inheritance not just for yourself, but for those who will follow in your footsteps. The subtle, yet powerful, influence of your life now carries generational significance. This is the quiet authority that transforms homes, communities, and destinies alike. In this sacred moment, declare aloud, the season of survival ends, and the season of building begins. Affirm that you are ready to take responsibility for your life, your gifts, and the path heaven has prepared. Your Father's guidance remains, but it now serves to direct and empower rather than console. You are commissioned to walk forward with courage, discernment, and divine favor, carrying both the lessons of the past and the promises of the future. The legacy you inherit is not merely an echo of what has been, it is a declaration of what will be, and you are now fully equipped to step into it with clarity, authority, and unwavering faith. As the commissioning settles into your spirit, heaven now moves to finalize this sacred encounter with a blessing of restoration. This is not merely a promise of comfort, it is a divine declaration that the years that were lost to grief, confusion, or delay will now be repaid and restored in fullness. Joel 2:25 resonates through this moment. What was taken, postponed, or diminished is now returned with multiplication, and no effort of yours has gone unnoticed. Your Father, once a quiet observer from the realms beyond, now openly expresses pride in who you have become, validating your journey, your endurance, and the courage with which you have embraced purpose. In this final stage, heaven gently yet firmly begins to heal the inner child within you, the part that wondered if you were enough, the part that longed for acknowledgement, the part that still carried wounds of absence or unmet expectations. Validation flows as a tangible grace. What was once silence or neglect is now transformed into affirmation and love. But this blessing also carries a protective edge. Heaven issues a clear warning. Not all influences align with your destiny. Harmful relationships, destructive habits, and distractions must be recognized and avoided. Restoration and provision are offered, but they require your cooperation, obedience, and discernment. Your role is active, not passive. Your spiritual partnership is necessary for protection and flourishing. Simultaneously, God's promise extends into every practical dimension of your life. Financial doors are opened, households stabilized, and the resources needed for faithful obedience are confirmed. These blessings are not symbolic, they are tangible, actionable, and intended to support the mission of your life. The love surrounding you, expressed by your Father and by heaven itself, is eternal, unwavering, and present at every step. It is a love that carries you through trials, strengthens you in moments of doubt, and reinforces the authority you have been given. As this sacred session draws to a close, internalize the truth that restoration is now underway. Blessings are being activated, and your legacy is unfolding. Heaven's favor follows your steps. Your obedience unlocks doors that were previously closed. This final blessing is both a seal and a commissioning. It anchors hope firmly in your spirit, confirms provision in every sphere, and assures you that love is not only your inheritance, but your constant companion. Step forward in this truth, for what has been promised will manifest, and the life you were always meant to live is fully within reach. As this sacred encounter reaches its culmination, we enter a space of deep surrender and alignment, allowing heaven to move fully within every part of your spirit, mind, and heart. In this extended prayer, you are invited to release every burden you have carried, the doubts, the fears, the grief, and the guilt that no longer serve your destiny. Let go of yesterday's regrets and embrace the inheritance that has been prepared for you, fully recognized and divinely approved. This is a moment of spiritual recalibration, where the past is reconciled and your future is affirmed in alignment with God's perfect plan. Within this sacred space, dormant gifts and unique callings that have long awaited activation are now being stirred. Discernment sharpens like a finely honed tool, allowing you to navigate life with clarity, wisdom, and purpose. Protection is activated over your mind, your body, and your household, and provision flows in ways both tangible and spiritual. This is a time where assurance for your future is no longer abstract. It is felt, known, and confirmed in your spirit. You are invited to step fully into the authority, confidence, and responsibility that God has been preparing you for all along. As you internalize these truths, speak aloud the declarations of your identity. Affirm the healing of generational wounds and the breaking of cycles that have bound your family line. Let this be a declaration of victory, of love restored, and of purpose embraced. Heaven has not only spoken over you but has provided a tangible confirmation that your story is shifting. In the name of Jesus, we seal this message, a covenant of hope, empowerment, and divine protection over your life. Allow this sealing to resonate through every choice you make, every word you speak, and every step you take forward. To solidify your engagement with this divine moment, comment below with the words, "I receive this blessing." By doing so, you not only affirm your spiritual consent but also join a community of fellow chosen ones who are walking this journey alongside you. Finally, subscribe and continue the journey, knowing that this is only the beginning. Your story is unfolding, your calling is being activated, and the narrative of your life is far from complete. Heaven is at work, and your obedience, faith, and alignment will continue to unlock every promise and blessing reserved for you. Step forward with courage, for what has begun in this moment will continue to manifest in ways beyond what you can imagine.